And Derek,
Really well
job
done by
moving
Derek.
there. Oh, what a big snipe! Shot!
And Russo gets backed out of the cut.
No way! No way! No way!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing today? This very fine Easter Sunday, we've got ourselves a special matchup for you guys. I say that all the time, but this is a truly special matchup because we have two teams who are coming up the ranks and are making a name for themselves. They are playing in the silver bracket, however, as the format of this particular tournament basically went as followed. You get placed in groups, 4-team groups and 5-team groups respectively, and the first place team of each group will go to the gold bracket, and then second place, silver, third place, bronze, etc. Fusion, it's been a while since you've casted. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I was playing in the tournament earlier, but we got knocked out by one of these teams, S1, and they played very, very well. Especially during the latter half of our match, we couldn't put much together, but they're a very fine team.
So for Timeless, we got Artie, Ethan, Tekken, Zane, and Mank. Let me know your unfiltered thoughts.
Well, I think that this entire group, as a whole, is very, very good team. And with the chemistry and, as you can see, there's a mix of some players that were from, I believe it was SEC, if I remember correctly. There's a mix of some of those players in there.
Yeah, Shot Cheese.
And I know that they have built chemistry before in the past, and they're able to merge it well here. And they have been able to really put this together and become a really strong team.
Yeah, so Artie, Ethan, and Zane, pretty quintessential if we're talking about Explorers of Time. Those three came from that particular side before they ended up forming this group. It's essentially mostly Explorers of Time players with a couple of SEC sprinkled into the mix. Mm-hmm. And just minus Savvy, pretty much. But yeah, this particular core in terms of chemistry should be fine. And in terms of overall running power, I think they're decent. But I think one of Timeless's / Explorers of Time's biggest issues in the past has been consistency. They have shown flashes of brilliance in the past, but they haven't been able to put it together when the time comes down to it. They're not clutch per se. They haven't been clutch in the past. So hopefully with this new team, kind of a fresh, rejuvenated start for them. Let's see how they do against Lightspeed Ultraviolet, who also have been coming up the ranks. Although they are a little bit more of an established side in terms of running solidity, they're a little bit more of a consistent side. Last season in MKPS, they had a couple of good performances, as most of these players did play for L7 in the summer split. They went 4-1 in their group in the summer split. They could have gone undefeated, but they just barely lost to Velicor, and then they made a bit of a run in the playoffs from what I remember. As for Lightspeed 2, as they were known as, they did beat Insane in round 2 of the gauntlet, but then got eliminated in round 3. I forget which team it was, but this team certainly has the potential. They have the pieces to be successful, and let's see if they can put it together, starting off with this tournament number 2 silver bracket final.
Well, I know that the core of this lineup has been playing together for quite some time, and adding Monty to the mix, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how he'll do, because I know that he just transferred here just before this tournament. So I wonder how this is going to work out. But with this, the 4 runners, I believe that they have the chemistry to put it all together, and it's down to how will these guys play and how will they deal with each of these situations.
For sure, and also I want to point out the bagging battle too. Money's fairly accomplished bagger throughout the years. Did play with Iberoamerica in the World Cup in, I think, 2017. Iberoamerica was basically a combination of Latin America and Portugal, and so it was just a, Spanish/Portuguese mix. But, Monies has been around for a while now, and I do think that it's going to be kind of tough to outbag him. He's not one of the most flashy baggers in the world, but he knows his stuff, and he's going up against Mank, who I actually don't know too much about. If you have intel on it, please provide it for me.
Oh, Well, I know a lot about Mank, and he's become a really, really good bagger because he had only started bagging, I'd say, a few months prior, and he made a lot of progress, and he has shown that he's definitely ready for the big time because he's been doing a fantastic job with how, well, he's been reading situations pretty brilliantly, and he has been able to, play those mind games and make sure to stay intent for as long as possible.
Yeah, if we're talking about mind games, though, I was actually going to point out that Money's, one of his tendencies when he does obtain the shock is he always goes out of his way, or almost always goes out of his way to try to hide the fact that he has the shock, which is what you should do typically, but sometimes Money overextends and overcommits with that, and sometimes he stays right behind the other bagger, and the other bagger, if he finds out, that he has the shock, eventually he's going to stop star him. Or we have seen him a couple times flubbing with when he has had the shock, notably in CTL. I think it was Maximum versus Infinite in the final. He did lose shock 3 or 4 times. So I guess it was just a bit of a outlier, if you will. But yeah, so Monies does like to hold on, and he likes to keep going backwards, preventing the other bagger from realizing that he has it. But we'll see how he does in that respect. Let's see when he does pull the shock. We will look at the bagging battle more so than we usually do to see how that will play out. Let's get into MVPs and predictions. Who do you got for the prediction, first and foremost?
Prediction, like, team to win, I'd say S1. Because, I feel like they probably have, a stronger, not only stronger running core, but they can handle situations pretty well. But I wouldn't count out L, though, because they had gone through both IF1 and FGT to get here, and those two are very tough opponents to take down. So I think that L definitely has a shot. As for MVPs, I don't think I really have a pick because anybody could MVP in this one.
Interesting, because I actually have Lightspeed Ultraviolet taking this one home. Even though Timeless are the higher seed, I just feel like Lightspeed are a little bit better in the big time. And this is casted, both Timeless and Ultraviolet do know this, that they are being casted at the moment. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted trying to fix something. But in the big time, we have seen Timeless struggle, and I think if we were to follow that trend, I think Lightspeed will take this one, but that's not to say that I don't want to see them succeed, because they're a good side, a lot of good people, they're fun to be around, and I hope they prove me wrong. Not to say that I want them to win, but I would like to see them come out on top and finally exercise their demons that they've had in the past. But I still have Lightspeed Ultraviolet taking this one home by, I'm gonna say 32, and the MVP, I'm going to say Zane is always a contender for MVP, but he usually either scores like 100 or 60. It's kind of a mixed bag with him. I'm still going to say Zane, though. I'm going to say Zane 102.
I think there's a chance that Tekken might MVP, actually.
Tekken is... He hasn't really played that much in the league setting. I know he's played a couple of wars here and then, and maybe Mogies. He's not grinding this game a lot like some other players, but he doesn't really get rusty. He's just a naturally gifted individual in the running department, and so he's also a candidate to look at.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys like this new idea with the graphic. I know there have been a couple of casts in which the boxes have been kind of redundant because, in best of ones, you don't really need those boxes, so there would just be 0-0 there. I did get word from Winter that the logos are a little too small, so potentially maybe we can make the boxes as well as the race box a little bigger. But this was just an idea. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that particular graphic idea. But that being said, we are underway with Lightspeed hosting, even though Timeless is on the left. I did think that Timeless was going to be the home team because they were the higher seed going into this. So I'm not really sure how that works, but we move. Artie's POV is going to be pretty entertaining to watch as well. Artie, he is a pretty decent individual. He's not too flashy, but I feel like he's going to be consistently running in that top 4 and trying to push the action. That being said, go ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised if he drops back, though, because I have seen him do a lot of pretty heavy schlagging, so he's capable of doing that, too.
Yeah, he's an all-around player. In terms of the running power, though, I do think that he is more than capable of staying in the top 4. Maybe not going to be in a top 2 spot every race, but he's going to be up there, you know, a decent chunk. And he also does a lot of the dirty work in the back. So Artie is pretty much the rock in this particular side. So here we go. S1 already off to a decent start, although Mason gets a nice snipe there. Actually, no, L is top 3. I thought for a second that S1 were getting up there, but L top 3, and Brody maybe could go for a ramp box here, potentially can get triple greens, triple reds, maybe a single red to get Artie out. Doesn't look like he gets anything threatening, though. I wonder if Taka has another item. He opts to back the Nana right on landing and backs a wide fib as soon as he gets redded. I didn't see him spin out, though, but he did kind of go wide. Yeah, now that S1 are top 2, they can start backing now. We actually... Oh, no. That's... No. No! That's bad. I was about to say that S1 immediately taking top 2, and that was a really good back there from Artie, telling his teammate to go wide so he could back tight on the jack there, but... Unfortunately, Monies finds himself in a bit of a sticky situation there, and already we got a -20 coming out for Lightspeed Ultraviolet.
Yeah, you don't want that early on, especially since it'll weigh with your mentality later on in the war, so you're going to have to not think about it.
That being said, Mason actually slips on, I think, the Nana that Taka placed lap 1. But it's still going to be a top 2 coming out for L here. They're going to need to do something. Yeah, okay, there's the shock.
There's the shock.
At the very least, Monies was able to secure the shock to at least nullify the damage of that troll. And we are going to see a fib tied on Jack. I wonder if that's going to be a threat. No, everyone decides to go wide there. 3, 4, 5 still for S1. If they can maintain this, maybe go wide and play it safe to avoid these back spams. They're still going to secure a good race here with that troll.
Yeah, that's good. Just to at least stave off some of the points that they're going to lose from that. They'll be able to make up some ground. It's crucial that they start off on the right foot, because they don't want to have to, you know, not only have that pen, but also have to deal with a bad losing race.
No shock coming in here. Actually, there it is.
Not second shock, and I'll get Artie up to 5th by the looks of it.
Looked to me like he was trying to bob and weave his way to try to star a couple of L players there, but in the end, he does not capture 5th as a result. Good idea. I didn't see anybody spinning out, though. Regardless, it's going to be a decent race, considering the circumstances for S1. I mean, L were top 3 to begin with, right? And they were somehow able to sneak past. Maybe Taka was a little bit too aggressive at the end of lap 1 there. Did back Nana on landing, but left himself open for that red, as he did have a fib to back himself up.
So which stream are you watching? Because I'm kind of lost.
Oh yeah, let me go live. Sorry about that. I was on Artie's POV.
Okay, yeah, that explains it all, because I don't know if they put the delay on both streams.
They did. Do you see both POVs or okay, just
I only see Artie's.
Okay. Could you do the table bot? I think it was a...
It should work now.
Okay. Top 2, 6, 7, 9. I'm going to do the score real quick. Do the toad bot for me. Top 2, 6, 7, 9 for L.
All right, loading up the points. It's all +9.
Okay. Peach Gardens is an interesting reset track here. But DDR could also very much work for L, as they won't have anybody, you know, with that sandwich spot threat. None of them will be bumped around, but it's going to be Gardens regardless. And I'm going to include the penalty on there. It's a surefire penalty. I don't see any reason why there would be any sort of contemplating over that, but...
Well, Myers just got to make sure to be careful next time. also important to get these mid-spot boxes because you can't pull shrooms or golden to get up there at the start, but he just gets a red. But now S1 playing bottom 2.
Ooh.
And TC
Mason was able to
fast.
get a golden on the other POV, but unfortunately Zane passed the TC to him, and he tries to slow down and get Artie, but nothing doing at all there, and Mason's just going to fall really far behind. As for the bagging, it's fairly even. Both of them were able to stick in the bagging neck and neck. I don't think any of them were able to pull a golden and potentially break away. One of the baggers most certainly has the shot, because both of them went around. And I'm going to take a look to see who is winning out in the bagging. Unfortunately, didn't get a clear view of that. But, yeah, Eller, I think...
The bottom 2 at the
yeah,
moment.
the top 2
now,
bottom
so.
2 at the moment. And this will certainly favor S1. Assuming there's no shock, S1 are all going to be holding on to the shrooms, assuming that Brody isn't holding a shroom. I highly doubt it in this case. As for the bagging situation, Mank is currently winning out. We saw monies falling off with Bill early in the race, and Mank most certainly has it at the moment, considering neither of them took the shortcut early on. What would you do here if you're S1?
I'd say if you have dodges, just shock them in the boxes.
Mason does have a star, though, to potentially predict. He does go in it. Doesn't look to me like anything's going to... Yeah, no shock to shake up the spots just yet, but it looks to me like S1 are in decent spots here with 1-3. They could afford to hold on to this later on. Oh, that is...
But that's the wrong one.
Good idea, but unfortunately
Yeah,
not well
Brody.
executed. They're going to opt to hold this, though, S1. I mean, it was a smart play not to shock there, because that's a nice back as well. But Artie was already in first, starting to break away there. They're going to hold on to this. Actually, they use it just now. There goes the shock. Taka's dodge is up. Bit of an odd shock, if I'm honest, actually.
And a bomb, too.
Oof. Zane was able to get up there as well. Very odd shock, I must say. I highly doubt that Mank lost it, because... Money's just dropped the star there. Unless Mank was going back around that chain chomp section and maybe got chomped or starred, but that was very bizarre, regardless. And with that, it's going to be a 2-point lead here for Lightspeed, even with the troll priced in. So, very, very interesting shock, to say the least, and a missed opportunity for sure for S1 to get a good race.
Yeah.
But with 1-3-4 here, I mean, this is prime TF spots right now. They are going to go with DKM, though. I mean, TF starting in second is a bit... Yeah, if you pick 1-3-4 with someone starting in second on the other team, it is a bit risky. You're going to have to try to fend him off. So instead, they're going to opt for DKM. Not the best track for first, but if first can hold on to that lead, then it's, free reign from there as long as you keep good lines.
Yeah. Whoever's in second from S1 should definitely try their best to stay up there, because this track is run heavy, and falling behind here is not something you'd want to do.
DKM is going to be the track that the Mario Kart gods favor. I wonder how Artie's going to be able to fend off the 1-3-4 here. I mean, he's going to have to take a really good line. He's going to try to have to maybe take an aggressive line, but instead he plays it safe, allowing Taka to get up there and to just keep his first, giving L free reign there to back as well.
Ooh,
nice tight back for Taka.
Well, so far most of L are in the front, with Taka and Mason leading the way.
This is a decent bomb spot for Artie, as long as he can get it on the bridge way off the mark there with that bomb.
But there's the Bill. Tekken has to get up there.
I think got put off by that Bill. He was trying to avoid that Bill first and foremost, but that was a really good opportunity for Artie to line up for that. Oh, here we go. We saw Mason slowing down. Perfect opportunity for the shock. Yep. Not good at all for L, and I think they were able to get all 4 in cannon.
Yeah, I believe so.
It was a either 2-3-4 or top 4. Yeah, it was either or, but yeah, this is going to be a very, very dire situation now for S1, and I don't really see any way back aside from a couple of blues potentially.
And Ethan also got TC'd, which is not going to help them too much either. They gotta get those shrooms and gotta get up fast.
I want to see how solid Taka and Mason will be able to maintain this top two, because this is a bit of a tricky track to drive. And I know some lower div players really hate this track due to the bumps, and even some higher tier players are not too consistent at it. Only a few of them are in terms of pure running power. But Taka and Mason seem to be holding their own pretty strongly right now. And the lines, as I say that, Caster's Curse.
Commentator's curse, yeah.
Yep. Still ahead of Zane very slightly, though. I thought for sure Zane would have lagged ahead, but I think Zane was also playing it very cautiously.
Ow.
Already may hit this ground green if he's not careful. Avoids it pretty sleekly. We saw Mason hitting the fib on the other POV.
Gonna be a top 2 for L. Another good race.
Yeah, a little bit of a flub there from Mason. As I said, that decent lines being taken from the top 2. Unfortunately, Mason.
Yeah, those bumps are pretty deadly, and usually you don't want to get hit by those because it will always drive you right into that gate, and you'll lose a bunch of time. But they did what they could with that, getting top 2 still, which was pretty good, and that's when getting bottom 2. So off to a pretty hot start, L, with 3 winning races in a row in order to counter that pen, which is very good. Yeah, top 2, 5, 6.
Yes.
Very nicely done.
Top 2, 5, 6. I'm trying to think what they could go in this situation. Because a Moonview is a good top 2 track. Because third is kind of starting in a shitty spot. As top 2 will take the tighter boxes. And third will either have to force himself to go wide to grab a box. And potentially get overtaken by a couple of the mid-spot runners. Or he'll stay tight. Maybe try to get a draft on second. But risk getting insta-redded or green sniped or something along those lines. So I think Moonview would be a good choice here for LUV. DK Summit is the track that's being favored here, though.
I think this is definitely a good choice, considering that 5-6 can get shrooms and get up there pretty quickly, and if they can duplicate what they just did in this race, they'll be able to just have top 4 this time. Because I know that lap 2 shock, while it was early, that's basically what you have to do if you're top 4. You want to get that top 4 solidified as soon as possible.
Ooh, sure.
So it was a pretty good shock for what it was.
Sherbet Land, fairly interesting track pick. I mean, it is a reset track. This track has gotten a lot more popular over the years. It's starting to become, actually it already has become a part of the meta. Back in 2018, 2017, you would rarely see teams playing this, and I feel like one of the pioneers of this particular track was Ryu, even though he's not playing a game. Arguably the greatest bagger of all time. You could argue that Jazz has overtaken him since Ryu really hasn't been bagging as of late, but Ryu loved this track, and KG would always pick this, and I feel like slowly over time people would start to pick this. But that being said, we are going to be seeing L with a bit of a good start here with top 2, as Mason almost fell off actually earlier in the track with the golden.
Nice back on Zane.
Yes, nice back. Mason was able to recover there after almost falling off on the U-turn, but in terms of the bagging battle here, one bagger has an immense break, but that could be a sign that maybe the other bagger has a shock in 9th already. We'll see what happens. Blue comes in onto Mason. No combo onto him, though, so he's going to be able to survive. And Zane trying to trail Zesty, as Zesty does have triple nanas. Nothing to threaten Zane like a red or a green or anything of the sort, but does miss out on that trail.
He has to get out of there quickly.
Oof. And does a little bit of a domino effect, gets passed to everybody, every which way.
There's a chance that one of the baggers must have shock then. If he's holding Bill, there's a chance.
And this is a really good position to have the Bill too. Assuming, let's just say that S1 has it. Nice trail there from Tekken. But let's just say S1 has it. Mason is going to have to use this Bill pretty soon to get up to first. Because S1 are going to be holding on to this, assuming that they have it. And that is going to be Mank winning out on the bagging battle. So it is most likely to be the case.
Yeah, he goes into his Bill now.
Yep. And he uses a Bill in a good spot, too. He's not going to... yeah. Oh.
And there it is.
That was an L shock. I can confirm that, as I did see Monies was trailing in the bagging. And he is... yeah, he didn't spin out there. So L shock coming in to dodge Mason.
Oh, jeez. That's Nana.
Rough, but still going to keep his first.
I think Ethan might have overtaken him. Yeah, Ethan overtakes him.
No
Very
back
good
from
pull
Ethan.
at the end. Was trying to bump Zesty off. Just missed him.
It was just a bit of a late reaction there from Mason. I think he was focusing on the back spam, and he kind of just looked at his own artwork, if you will. It's going to be a 36-25 race for Timeless, and they're going to be able to... I don't think they take the lead, but they're only down by 6 after that race. 114 to 110 here for L with the troll penalty priced in. Again, a bit of a rough troll penalty considering you never want to use your star in that particular spot. I think he was trying to get Mank ahead of the set potentially, but then found himself really far ahead of the boxes there. And if you fail the jack strat, that's like a prime spot to get starred there. Even if you don't fail it, I mean, that's kind of the line that you end up in if you don't take the jack too cleanly. So I think Money's just kind of found himself in a precarious situation there.
Wait, how far was he? Was he on the far right,
He
or
was
was
pretty
he around the middle?
well. He was on the left, but he was pretty far ahead of the set, and that's typically the spot that a runner ends up in if he doesn't take the jack strat too cleanly.
I see.
So yeah, Money's was just frozen. He was like, "Oh, I hope nobody runs into me." Unfortunately, someone did run into you, Money's. So what were your thoughts about that first GP?
Well, with that first pen, I don't know if there's gonna be more later, but with that pen, it lit a quick fire under L, so that way they could start off as fast as possible because they don't want to have to lose through a pen. It's probably the most disappointing way to lose. So they came out blazing already, and they got that 24-point lead without pen, so they're up 4, and they're looking to continue that progress.
And as for the indivs here, Mason getting 38, Taka 36, Artie 38, Ethan 30. So pretty evenly matched right now. And what were you gonna say?
I think the main takeaways of this is who can get up there first and stay up there the longest, because most of the time the shocks are really gonna turn it upside the head. So with that, I think it's important to keep up in the front most of the time to set traps, because even if the other team dodges, they can end up running into those traps later, like what happened to Mason.
126 viewers so far for us. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Hopefully we'll get closer to 200 as this match will come to a close. Maybe it'll remain this tight. I mean, these two teams are evenly matched. It was even to a point where both of us predicted both teams respectively. Fusion predicted Timeless, and I predicted Lightspeed Ultraviolet to win. That is just how closely contested these two teams are, and I feel like bagging is more important than ever in a tightly contested match like this. And in terms of the bagging, both of them kind of exchanged some shocks. I wouldn't say that either bagger outbagged the other. There were a couple of times in which one bagger overtook 10th but didn't get the shock. Like, for example, in Gardens, which I still found to be a very bizarre race, as neither bagger went through the cut. They both went around, and I saw Money's lagging behind and I think falling off with Bill, but then he was able to get it maybe in 9th, I'm not entirely sure. But then we saw Mank getting a shock after Money's was winning in a bagging battle in another race. And yeah, the bagging battle is more important than ever in a tightly contested affair like this. And GCN Waluigi Stadium comes out for L. This is a staple track pick for them, as well as any team that Camelot plays for. But I feel like Lightspeed, Ultraviolet, and maybe Apocalypse, whichever team Camelot is playing for. I don't think he's playing for AP, but not a fairly common track pick, but we'll see how that turns out. Both baggers making the backward strat pretty cleanly, and this track is a bit tricky. Sometimes you don't want, usually you don't want to take the backwards, the first box going backwards, obviously in 10th, but even in 9th, you risk pulling Bill, because there will be a lot of people holding on to items in this particular track. But it looks to me like Money's, I think, is the days he is able to overtake, as he did get a box in 9th and is going to be able to overtake in the bagging. S1 already starting off with the top 2-4. Artie is going to have to take clean lines if he wants to stay in first here. Mason with a couple of snipe attempts, and does get one of them. Artie still in first, hanging on by a thread.
And he has a shroom too. He'll just have to take the cut and then instead of holding in case there's a blue.
Good attempt there from Mason to try to snipe the cut there, but it was a little bit far to the right there. Let's see if, yeah. No turn skip attempt here for Articuno, and he does slow in Mason there.
And yeah, Moniz is winning out in bagging battle still. I don't know if he already has it or not, but looks to me that he just has to stay up as long as possible.
Oh, somehow the red doesn't break there, and yeah, Mason does get combo redded twice. I didn't have the correct POV on there, but Mason, he tried to wrap his way around that first turn to try to have the red break, but he did have a shroom in second, got combo redded twice, forced to use the shroom, wasn't able to break first in the end, as he was in position to do so. Mega coming in for Mason.
That doesn't look to be the case. Yep, and a TS is a man cat.
Blue on the line, not going to affect Artie.
And it's going to be a top 3.
Oof. Yeah, what wasn't really the most exciting Waluigi Stadium race in the world. We saw Mason getting a snipe off on the second place there for L, but unfortunately wasn't able to break first as he was going for the turn skip, but then gets trailed by Artie as he wasn't. So I think Mason won't be too happy about that, as well as the red not breaking around the roll. I thought for sure it would, but yeah, with that being said, we're going to see a very, very good start to this GP for S1. It's going to be a 21-point race, plus 21. Anyway, what track would you go here for S1, considering you are top 3? I think BCW would be good, right?
Yeah.
They are going to go for GV for the other end. Let me know, guys. GV coming out here, and it's really important right now for L to try to get those shrooms. I wonder how aggressive S1 are going to start here, because some teams like to just go really aggressively to start with top 2 run and maybe third, or whoever their third most runner is, maybe get a 4th or 5th place box. Sometimes they drop heavily to 6th or 7th. I do think it'll be a good idea for third to maybe drop back. Err on the side of dropping back a little bit more to get a 6th place box potentially. We are going to be seeing L starting off pretty aggressively, though, in 3, 4, 5. I think they will have a couple of shrooms, hopefully. But Taka does get trailed, and on the other POV, Ethan does take the TC. Nice backspin from Artie there. Good position for Mason here as well. How's the bagging looking like? Looks to me like they're Monies does commit to the backward strat first. He tries to get that 9th place box, maybe to take the backward strat. I do think he pulled a couple stars trying to chain it, falls off with Bill. That's the thing about bagging in this particular track. You usually don't want to overcommit, as you can pull a star or a Bill. I think Monies was really keen on getting that 9th place box instead of maybe waiting for a couple of people to take cut and lose their shrooms first before getting that 9th place box, and we're going to be seeing a huge break in the bagging now for Mank. Who's that in the daisy back there? Is that Zesty? I think he didn't... Yeah, he does fail the... That was a really weird TC pass.
Yeah, that was very weird. I think Mank already has it as he just went forward, and Monty's just fell off with Bill. So, presumably S1 does have shock, and the given here is to just dodge him and respawn. That's all they have to do.
Yeah, fair play to Brody. He did make the rock in lap 1, and I don't think he had another shroom to back himself up with, but S1 just not able to get those shrooms. I think they start off top 2, bottom 2, but
Shock should be coming shortly, and one of them does fail respawn as well. Brody failed respawn.
Oof. Not the mistake you want to make if you're Brody.
Well, it's still going to be a 2-3-4 for L.
Yeah, much needed shock for Mank there. Had that shock not come off, it could have been a 1-3-4, top 2-4 there for L, and that's the risk you take if you go for a box that early for your monies.
We do have to get back there as fast as possible, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that used to be the meta in 2020, where a bagger would go for that 9th place box. But nowadays, in the top echelon of bagging battles, they just sit there for a long time. And they're like, okay, you go first, you go first, you go first.
Yeah, you gotta play those mind games.
Yeah, +3 race for L there, and they're going to be taking, extending their lead a little bit more, up by 7 now. But anything can happen in this game, especially with the score this tight with 2 evenly matched sides, 7 races to go. This is primetime MKW. We are going to be seeing BC3. I know they're very solid. Zessy's going to go for the Ultra, potentially Taka, even though he is funky. I know he has a lot of experience with that particular shortcut. And if you're S1 here, just try to body block.
Well, the main thing for R to do is to get up there and block cut. And they could also have someone just sit at the cut so they could make them struggle and potentially fail the cut too, so Artie could get a bigger break. So I think the key in this race is going to be the mid-pack play, especially with if somebody's just going to sit on cut.
To me, like Brody uses a star very early there. I think he had to have been forced out of it. I don't see why he would just use it there, assuming that he would have gone for Ultra or Shroomless here. A lot of people lining up for the cut there, and the whole room essentially failing. I think there were a lot of bumps going on, but we do see Taka there making the cut, Mason making the cut. It's going to be a top 2 for L early on. And I would assume that at least one of them are holding on to another Shroom, and Tekken's going to have to do some work. I think he gets bumped by Mason into the wall, so not able to break up those top spots. And if you're Taka here, if you have a Shroom, just take the cut easy. If you have a blocking item, just maybe leave it open for Mason if Mason has a Shroom, but at the same time you could block it to play it safe. What would you do here if you're L, considering that maybe Mason has a Shroom?
Even if they block it, they're still going to unblock it, and Mason Taka falls off.
Yeah,
so Mason's just going to go for
not
it,
good,
and already gets bumped off.
Especially if he had blocking item there, especially. And Mason's going to fail the cut as well. A lot of fails going on. Already gets flattened by the thwomp there. We are going to see Taka going. We are going to see Taka going for the Ultra there after falling off, and he does fail the Ultra. So from 1st to 8th, not a good look from Taka. And
S1's just top 3 running away.
Yeah,
now.
what looked to me like a really good race for L, and they completely bottled it.
I don't know what happened to Taka, but
yeah, he did fall. He failed a low trick. I think him and Mason were side by side, and it was a bit iffy there. And it looks to me like Mason falls off with the TC. Doesn't get the good respawn though. A little bit impatient.
Well, both of our streamers are in the bog spots, and nothing interesting is going to happen. But he does start Monty's there. He does not have shock, and Blue gets thrown.
And with that, Make is
but
able to overtake.
It's not going to make much of a difference anyway.
Yeah. With most of the people after cut here, I don't think shock's going to play too much of a factor unless you shock in the boxes or dodge people outside of the cut. It looks to me like, yeah, S1 are still locking this down for the most part. And someone got blue. Tekken got blue, but he does keep 2nd in the end. And it looks to me like a pretty clean top 2.
Oh, Ethan.
Nice schlag there from Brody, maybe to nullify the damage a little bit, but nonetheless, it's going to be a clean top 2 for S1. I think bottle would have to be the right term for that. They did bottle that quite hard.
They did bottle that. I just feel like he probably got a weird trick off the ramp where he failed that low trick, because some of the time you could just end up hitting the wall and just go flying. Mm-hmm. So it's just unfortunate from Taka there.
Also, thank you for pointing that out, Maxi. We do have a potential troll. Not a potential troll. Actual troll. Thank you for sending that clip. Yeah, look at the chat here. Maxi did send a Gyazo, and that most certainly is a troll penalty on the side of S1. So.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
100%.
So that's a game changer. Now they got one back. So that's pretty much just gonna even. That's pretty much just gonna even the troll pens up now.
Yeah.
And it's gonna give them even bigger lead too.
190 to 197 is going to be the current score line. Stream hosting and casting be like,
yeah, having to do 2 things at once, it's quite something, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, humans are not hardwired to multitask, especially someone like me who's not the smartest, not the sharpest tool in the shed. So we move. We got MG, and yeah, very shroom heavy track. We didn't see Zesty try to prevent the draft there, but looks to me like none of S1. I think Tekken was able to sneak his way up there, but I'm not sure to what extent that's going to help S1. It actually helps them pretty pretty much to start off with the top two here. But I mean, mid spots, you'd want to be in the mid spots in this particular track. But
nice reds off on them.
yeah,
And two of them down immediately. But for a start, you definitely want shrooms.
you definitely want shrooms in the mid spots. Yeah.
Starting in the front is not the best because you can get shrooms in mid spots and be able to develop a much bigger break from that too. Almost gets bumped off, but just barely makes it.
Brody was able to sneak his way up there, but nope, gets immediately sideswiped by a trailing green there. And Zane trying to get that TC off to Brody. It's going to be a tight pass here, but Brody goes wide, and Zane kind of gets faked out by Brody. So he's going to be able to tank. He's going to tank this, falls off as well.
Yeah, he didn't stop on the green mushroom just to prevent that. So
Back
he's
bomb
all
for
the way
Marty.
back there.
I'm really interested to see the shroom situation here. Ethan looks to me like he is going to align for the cut here, as well as Brody. Both of them make it. Looks to me like Mank is winning out by quite a bit in the bagging here. And in terms of the spots up there, it's really hard to see, but I would have to assume...
I saw Tekken and Zane up there.
Yeah. I saw a couple of L
Well, not
back here
Zane,
too.
excuse me, Ethan.
Yeah, it looks to me like it's a top 2 or a 1-3. Tekken gets back.
Ooh, I think a bomb or something, because there's a shroom just laying there.
Yeah,
There's
so
a
1-4 for S1, 2-3-4 now with Zesty coming up the rear there. I don't know if he's going to get a good chain. It doesn't look to me like he got a good chain. Box in 4th, maybe it could get a shroom, but it's going to be very speculative.
Be able to do something with this.
Ethan somehow lost second. I think he got redded
Never
somehow.
fought. Ooh, just barely clips on.
Bit of a sketchy gap there. But yeah, S1 were occupying a good amount of spots there, but Monies was able to somehow pull the shock off there. And Zesty, I don't think he got a good chain. From what I saw, he went around the cut, but no TS there either. It was a good attempt there to try to TS S1, but nothing doing. But, I mean, we saw Ethan spinning out in second. I think it had to have been a back, considering how close he was to first there. And yeah, Taka, I think, backed him somehow, whether it was a green or a fib or something. And L is going to secure top 2.
Yeah, that was good. Like, the only other thing that they could have hoped for with that shock was that they would have TS'd both Ethan and Tekken, possibly. But since Tekken got taken out, the best target was Ethan. And even though he didn't get a best chain, that was still top 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at that point, I think they were just trying to TS, but they were trying to get their players before the boxes, right? You want to play it safe. You don't... Because the most lethal TS spot would be the third to last or the second to last mushroom, as you do get a really bad respawn there. But they played it safe. They tried to TS S1 on the green mushrooms, which is still a decent TS spot, assuming that you do time it well. But yeah, still nonetheless with Zesty dodging all the way up, even not getting shrooms, he still was able to get all the way up to a top 2 spot. And now with that race in the books, we are going to have a 6-point lead for L.
That applied with both pens?
Both pens.
All right, well, these last 4 races is going to be make or break for both teams, so they're going to have to give it their all.
I'm really interested to see what L are going to pick, because I know MT's already off the table here. DDR's not bad. You could sandwich that second place and make it really, really difficult for him to take the sand hop. And the Mario Kart gods do favor them. Coming down to the wire here with 4 races to go, 7-point lead for Timeless. I think the biggest deficit, I actually don't know the biggest deficit. It had to have been around not even less than 20. I know that for sure.
Pretty sure that deficit is correct. Concerning the table bot and those 2 pens together.
I was talking about the biggest deficit. It had to have been less than 20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We are going to see Artie Kuno opting to use his shrooms to get up there early on. He doesn't want to wait on other outside variables. Could get a red off here on Mason, and we'll see how cleanly he takes this sand hop. That Nana was kind of sketchy there, but he does take the wall glitch pretty cleanly ahead of Zesty.
Monty's currently winning out on the bag battle as well.
Mason is absolutely
right
adamant
here,
to pass that off, and he does get it off. Nice work there from Mason.
And he's gonna get an 8th place box too, so he could potentially get Bill or something to catch back up.
Monies was winning out, but it looks to me like he had Bill. Maybe got hit by one of the runners and does fall off with Bill now. Yeah, he had to have gotten hit by one of the runners as he did slow down heavily there.
Gotta do a lot of work to.
Oh, Artie!
Well, he's all right. He's all right.
All right, he's good. He's good. 1-4 for S1 there. A little bit of a flub from Artie, but we move.
Oh, I know you have another TC.
I think you try to take the Ultra and maybe try to land on one of L or just fall off in the lake, either or.
Yeah, that's the plan right here.
Yeah, fall off in the lake.
Ooh.
Is he going to go for the safe Ultra or the clean Ultra? We're going to see.
Oh, no.
That is the risk that you take.
That little
for
bounce.
Yeah. It's a tight window. You really have to thread that needle if you're going to take the non-safe Ultra. But if you don't get it off, then you lose a heck of a lot of time. Still a pretty clean first for S1, though. And this is a track that I know Ethan loves to run. But he is in the back here. It's going to be Zane up there instead.
Oh, that's... Oh, my goodness. What are the chances
Physics
that
do
happens
not
to you?
apply in this game, apparently.
Yeah,
he got pushed.
That's tough. That's very tough.
He spun counterclockwise as his momentum carried him to the right.
Yeah, what are the chances of that?
I don't know. It's Mario Kart Wii, ladies and gentlemen. But it looks to me like it's going to be a fairly even race from the looks of it, with L getting a couple of those spots and maybe 2-3 from the looks of it. I think Brody and Taka were up there.
They had 2, 3, 4 going on to the last ramp.
Yeah.
So 2, 3, 5, 6. That's pretty clean for what it's worth.
I think RBC is a good choice for either side. More so on the side of S1 though, as they are occupying 1-4. They can just have that draft for free. But at the same time, you could also say that RBC could work for L too. They're occupying 2-3, and I think 5-6 or 5-7, and they can get a couple of drafts on the 2-3 as well in that respect. So. No RBC coming out from either side, though. It looks like Koopa Cape, and we're seeing Timeless hovering over Yoshi Falls. I know that was an Explorers of Time staple, and yeah, there it is. What do you think about Yoshi Falls with these spots, though? 1-4.
Well, these spots is pretty odd because, you know, you can't really get a draft off on that, and you're just going to have to hope that your first stays up there because usually it's just decided on whoever's in the front the most.
Yeah, and then starting off in first is iffy because you're not going to be able to get the mini turbo before the waterfall. But nonetheless, it is going to pick Koopa Cape. We saw L picking this several occasions, and here we go.
Scores updated?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. Yeah, 260 to 249.
Already was star. I'd say that if S1 gets up there like right away, you can just hold on to this for a while, and it seems to be the case with them being top 3 so far.
Kind of odd that not many people there. I think only one person ended up shrooming up in the end, but whoever that was is still in a bottom 4 spot. So spots don't really change hands too much, and S1 are occupying some decent spots here. I think, yeah, they are top 3 at the moment. And interested to see how well Mason's going to be able to break these up. Going to take the cut once, and yeah, you can just take all 3 cuts and maybe get all the way up to first, assuming no red. Ethan has to make a play here, though. Obviously, he's not going to predict that Mason has more shrooms here, but if Ethan makes a play here, this is going to start to look really bleak for L. But now Mason's going to get up there, maybe get up to first, and interesting, Zane backs before cut, doesn't get it off, but still a top 2 here for S1. I did see Money's hitting the zapper there with the bill. Doesn't look to me like either bagger has it.
When it comes to this track, you really got to be careful on when you touch those boxes because some of the time you could end up being too far forward and the other bag could get it in 10th.
Interesting POW. I would have to assume that was an S1 POW getting into boxes, because if it were an L POW, you'd want to wait until the landing. So yeah, S1 POW from the looks of it.
Throws the green. I think you should just saved it for Shroomba.
Yeah, a bit.
Oh, you got your Shroom anyway.
Very speculative. Nice Shroomba there from Zane. Already still holding on to the starts. It's been ever since the first set of lap 1 in which he's held on to this,
Oh, and
putting
he
his
pulls
trust.
TC.
Putting his trust in
He's gonna
Mank,
get
and I
tapped
think
off right away.
I think Mank
He
has it
doesn't
though.
get the purple reds.
He went past the set. He has to have it in this case, and this is going to look like a very explosive race from S1. But already looked to me like he used his star. Yeah,
There it is.
I think he was trying to schlag in the beginning there and maybe get that last second shock off. Bit of an unpredictable one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Mason does get
I don't
bumped though.
know.
Oh my god. Last second dodge off, and they get a
Huge
top four. Very
Huge
explosive.
top four.
Yeah, and they held their top spots pretty early on. I mean, we didn't really see anybody shrooming up, taking the cut in the beginning. And we saw unfortunate TC in third there for Mason, but yeah, that was really explosive, and that's what you need. I mean, L have won the majority of these races by a good, 3, 5, 7 points, but that is a statement. And if they can come out with RYF, I mean, that's a track that they were picking when they were only 1-4, so if they could pick that when they're top 4, I mean, L is going to be in a really bad position here.
Well, the best thing for them to do is just to stop the momentum by picking a reset track.
276 to 294.
They do also want to avoid this Rainbow Road pick because evidently if you have most of those guys already up there, someone's just going to drop back and schlag the hell out of everyone else.
Oof. Sigh
And they
of
do
relief.
get their escape and get their pick.
Absolute relief.
Because you do not want to have to start with them top 4 on Rainbow Road.
Yeah, 294 to 276 is the current score line. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. I'm really interested to see how S1 are going to approach this. They start off in top 4. Already gets bumped, so he's a surefire player to drop back. It looks to me like, yeah, the S1 are just going to opt to drop back. Not for the 8th place box, though. They don't want to play that game. But they do have top 2 run and get boxes in 6, 7, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah, you don't want Bill on this track because it doesn't really do too much as opposed to most other tracks. So getting shrooms at the start is
and
the
there
best.
is Artie taking the double, but he tries to slow down to get a box. Unfortunately, doesn't get the box, and to his detriment, it's going to get redded here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used the shroom after the box there, so a bit of a uncharacteristic mistake there from Artie. But he is going to be able to get the draft off on Zesty, unless, yeah, he's going to play it safe. He doesn't want to get back.
Well, he shouldn't get back. He just wants those mid-spot items to get shrooms.
That as well.
And he gets those triple shrooms. And then his blue out,
Yeah.
which is much needed.
I think he's going to get target blue. No, actually, he doesn't go for the dock. I think they called that out early, and he was able to readjust.
And he gets to get another set of triple shrooms. Get back up there. Mank is currently winning out in the bagging battle by a good margin, but he just falls off with Bill.
Still a top 2 in Tekken. He's going to swerve at this. He's going to make it unpredictable. He's going to be like, oh, where am I going to back this? Where am I going to back this? Okay, he backs it tight.
If he is going to get TC'd, though. He's going to slow the progress up a bit.
I think at that point, if you're Tekken, though, I do think, yeah, backing tight there is just to hold the other team back a little bit. But I think just try to make it back that wide, make it a little unpredictable. But nonetheless, we are going to be seeing a top 2 still from S1. And Mason holding on to a star here. Considering that Mank is in last here, I think this is going to be a good race for S1. No!
Monty had the shock.
Nope. Another case of Caster's Curse. He's going to be able to get this bomb off on Zane. No, he's going to time this. He's going to time this until after the turn. Make it a blind bomb spot.
He's going to have to slow down a little bit just to time it correctly.
Yeah, he is
doesn't
slowing
get it
down.
off. He doesn't get it off.
Yeah. I think Zane was able to see that. He saw Mason slowing down. He's like, oh, he has something. Goes wide. And I think you just back right away. I mean, he did have a little bit of separation from Zane there. So it was just a 50-50 decision there. I think it's a good decision in the end for Mason, I guess, to slow down and wait there.
Yeah, he has to get as many points as possible.
Yeah.
As everybody in chat has pointed out, the more points you score, the more likely you will win. But yeah, 1-3-6-8, which is a winning race, but not type of race you'd want considering the situation. So you need to get those bigger victory margins each race.
Yeah, and I also pointed out in the beginning of the cast that Monies he really likes to conceal his shock whenever he does pull it. I know that's typically the meta as a bagger. You want to to keep the other bagger guessing as long as possible, but Monies likes to do it maybe a little bit too much. I'm not entirely sure if he had the shock in 9th there, or if he pulled it in 10th and was just completely faking the other bagger out that entire race. But I'll get that in just a second. In the meantime, what would you go here if you're either side? What do you think's the play?
Well, anything to secure a top 2, pretty much. Well, in L's case, they have to get a massive race, so they would like to have something like RBC or anything that they could run really that's highly effective, and it won't be as shock heavy either. But
can't confirm that was a 9er, by the way. Can't confirm that was a 9er.
Okay,
I mean, Meg had a huge
right.
break in 10th, and then unfortunately for him.
But L is going to need a massive race because they're down 17. I believe, is this last race?
This is the last race. Yeah, no, I have it as race 11. This is the last race, though.
So yeah, they're going to need a big race here. All S1 needs is just secure top 2, and they have won the entirety of this.
So 324 to 307 is the scoreline we have right now.
Will we see some magic?
Will we? We shall find out. Primetime MKW here. We are going to be seeing a bomb here
for Ethan.
Yeah. Not in a top spot, though. I mean, if you're already... I was about to say...
Oh, he gets a nice snipe off on Mason.
I was about to say that's a good spot to throw that bomb, and he does get one of L there. I'm going to switch over to Mason's POV here as Artie does make the double. Still going to be first for Zesty. I want to see how well he's going to be able to hold this off, and unfortunately gets shocked into his own fib, and it's going to be a shot for S1.
Man.
Dodging...
blue.
Yep, dodging 3 of S1 in the cannon. They're getting Mason in it, though, but he has triple shrooms. This is a very good spot for him to have these, and he's going to be able to...
Zesty as well.
Yes, he has to hold on to this. It's all up to Mason here. I thought I saw L in second. Oh, no, I didn't. He gets redded off.
Yeah, he slowed down.
Yeah, and that looks to be curtains unless there's going to be a shock lap 3. This is very important for Monies to try to pull it here. And in terms of the bagging, he is winning out, so he's going to be able to most likely pull the shock here. In the meantime, it's a 1-3-5 for S1. We do see Zesty shrooming up to 4th. And this is an iffy back spot, though.
And another shock.
It's going to be getting Tekken out and Mason in with the star. This is going to be a very important item to have here if you're Mason. Maybe take the double and just secure first. Instead, uses the star.
Ethan gets blued.
Oof. Yeah, Mason just playing it safe here, using the star through cut's going to be taking single. Zesty gets redded out. Tekken's going to get a TC. Brody makes the ultra.
They got to get... I don't even know who's up there, but they got to get Zane out of there.
A lot of L are up here, but I don't think it's enough.
Dang. And another shock gets used. That's 6-8. Wait, was that a 5-6? That's a 5-6-8, I think. For
it's not enough.
Right?
Regardless, it's not enough. But
not enough. Oh wow.
Oh my god. I mean, there was so much going on there that I couldn't really pinpoint one exact occurrence. I was just like, oh, this happened. Oh my god.
Oh man.
38.
Really?
Wait. 39.
Wow. How's
39
it really?
to 22.
It's
a tie. It's a tie. Oh my god.
It's a tie.
Overtime MKW is upon us, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait. Oh my god. That's assuming if those barrack points are correct. Yeah, it's a tie. Oh
yeah.
My god. Oh, they clutched it. You did say earlier that they can perform in the clutch, and they pulled it off right here.
That is absolutely monumental if you're L.
I don't even know if that's I think that's a tie. It's been on the table.
It
is. 2 pens, so it should be a tie.
It is, ladies and gentlemen. Can confirm it's a 346 to 346.
Oh my gosh! Well, they have to play. It's one GP tiebreaker, right?
Yeah. Is it time for penalty cart week, guys? Is it time for penalty cart week? Okay.
Oh my.
I feel bad for other casters because I feel like I have been the only one that has experienced every single overtime match in MKPS history. I think this is like my 4th. I think you and I casted CB versus PT a while back in the Final 8. That one did go to overtime. Yeah, no, I said Brody took the Ultra. I'm sorry. I was just so wrapped up in the moment. I just didn't know what to say. He took the Ultra. It is the double, ladies and gentlemen, but that was a clutch double there from Brody. Absolutely. If he hadn't taken that, it would have been curtains for for Lightspeed Ultraviolet.
Had they also taken on Zen, I think they could have just won it right there. But still, a tie is also very good. Being down 17. Now, just to see how these guys are going to be able to, push forward this momentum, because that was a huge weight off their shoulders because they managed to get the race that they wanted just to save it.
Oh my god. You can't write a better script than this. I mean, Lightspeed...
Well, we got to see what happens in these next 4 races before we can consider that.
Yeah. I mean, S1 with the shock lap too, and they were... I mean, Mank, in the bagging battle, it was fairly close early on, and, Monies was able to, I think, overtake after Mank pulled the shock. I would have to assume that Mank pulled it maybe at 30. Either that or he pulled a box, the second box after going backwards. So Monies was able to overtake him, considering that, he had Shrooms and Golden, was able to go back, get the second one, and just coming out of nowhere. All right, Artie with 107. Zane with 100. Taka with 102. Tekken 84.
Oh,
Ethan
no,
72.
I can't even, change this. It has to stay as it is.
In the end...
all the points are going to be refunded.
In the end, I was close with my prediction. Zane got 100. I saw him get MVPing with 102. But in the end, it was Artie with 107. And now we are in overtime, ladies and gentlemen. RBC will be what the Mario Kart gods will pick for race 13. And RBC is not a bad track for L here. They could, they can control the top spots, 1, 3, 5. Prevent the draft if you're first, and if you're in, if you're in fifth, you can try to draft second, assuming that second will not try to avoid that swerve. But let's see who gets the better of the top spots here early on, because whoever gets up here early is going to be in position to get a good race. An unfortunate random green there for Mason. Also catches Brody
and he gets started as well.
Artie Kuno was trying to slag with a star there on the end of that POV switch there, but unfortunately wasn't able to connect with anybody and does hit the wall for his troubles. That being said, though, I think S1... Actually, the spots are fairly mixed. We saw a couple of S1 and 4-5. I think it's a 1-4-5 right now for S1. And yeah, Mason does stop star his stop star Mank, but unfortunately catches Monies in the process. So Mank's going to be able to run away here. I think he has Shrooms, so he's able to really pull away now. And a TC battle in the midst of it all.
Ooh, good evasion.
Bro, yeah, Artie was not afraid of that. Some players like to slow down because they don't like to risk. They don't want to play that game. But Artie was just able to bob and weave his way around that TC, and good evasion there from Artie. Looks to me like the spots are slightly in favor of
Tekken
S1.
did to TC, but will he slow down to passes to Artie?
Yeah, it's a 1-4-5.
Now has a mega.
1-4-5 here for S1.
And 2-3 for L, which is pretty crucial. And Monty's has used Bill, so it leads me to believe that Mank is most likely going to get it if he gets back in time.
Doesn't have it yet.
Yeah, I said he's most likely going to get it, but if he gets back in time, because Monty's going to have to chain in 9th.
Looks to me like Zesty gets backed in the cut as well, so he kind of falls a little bit further behind. And now we're going to be seeing a clean 1-3. I don't think anything really is going to come of this particular POV. I'm really interested to see how Mason is going to approach this situation, considering that Mank is in last right now. Oh, okay, he's forced to use a star regardless.
By the bomb. Yeah. I should have been able to avoid that, though.
That's a very vital bomb, and it looks to me like Artie does get backed. Even with 2 greens around him, he does get backed with
another
green.
bomb, but it doesn't hit anyone. Oof. Oh my god, more bombs, jeez.
Yeah, Artie got back green there, as he did have 2 greens trailing him, so a bit of an unfortunate situation. Oof, Mason's going to be coming up the rear as well, but Mason gets bombed as well in that same exact bomb. He is a little bit behind. And the spots are fairly mixed still. I mean, even with all this going on, neither team has really had...
And another shot right at the end.
Oof, yeah, TSing one of L there. Artie really slowing down there.
Oh, he got some...
Nice bomb there. He opted not to wait until after the rail to try to throw the bomb ahead of the rail. Instead slows down. Bit of an unorthodox bomb there, but it works out. Nicely done there from Artie Kuno. And it looks to me like with that bomb, S1 are going to take a good race there. I mean, throughout that entire race, it was fairly mixed spots. 145 for S1 until the very end, and wow, very nice shock there coming in for S1 to TS, and a very nice bomb there for Artie Kuno, and also Ethan dodging up. So I think it could be a top 2-4 here.
Top 2-4-5.
Also, Zane got caught in that bomb, by the way.
No, he didn't.
Oh, no, he didn't. Okay, he lagged out. Yeah, I looked back in the replay. 2-3-4-5 for S1.
Very good way to start, and huge shock from Mank, too. It was very crucial for how that race was going, with just so many explosions everywhere.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing now a 380 to 369, an 11-point lead for Timeless with that. And, yeah, already a good start to this overtime.
Let's see how L responds. That was another massive race, just being... Oh my geez, I don't even have the words to just, describe how this is going, but yeah, up 11 now is S1.
Yeah, we are truly grateful to be a part of this. I mean, another overtime. This is the fourth one of our MKPS season. What's up?
This is the first one I've ever done.
No. You did CBPT. I remember that one.
Oh yeah.
CBPT Final 8. Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for this. Especially with how those plays I already made too. Those were huge plays.
Absolutely. Whose pick was this? I think it was Ellis.
It was Ellis' pick, yeah.
Yeah. They like to accommodate for Zesty's track picks every now and again. If Zesty's in a top spot, they're going to be picking BC Wii. If he's in a bottom spot, they'll be picking BC3. And Zesty, I did say that Artie was kind of that rock around S1. But if you're talking about track picks, then I think Zesty really does make a difference. He really influences the team in what they pick. And I think they're picking this to accommodate for Zesty, but he is in 8th right now, not really in position to do anything as of yet. No, that is Brody with the daisy. Is Zesty good? No, Zesty's not. Ooh. No, there's Zesty. Yeah, he is in 8th or 7th now.
Marty's makes it back first, but it's still very close between two baggers.
Yeah, very close, but Money's is going to be winning out here. A little bit of a flub there from Artie as he did hop the wrong way, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. He's probably going to get a 7th place
blue
box.
get thrown. Oh, where's that blue going?
I don't know, but either way, I think it'll connect in the end, yeah. Ooh, nice comms there from Mason. Usually you don't want to go wide there. You usually want to keep your line and have your teammate go wide, but that is a very narrow spot. So Mason calls it out. He goes wide and lets his teammate go tight. So good comms there from Mason. But with that blue, I think S1 are going to start to break the plane a little bit more.
When TC has to get this pass off on Brody.
Yeah, Tekken's in first. Taka's in second.
Looks like Brody does have something to just nullify that TC, though. And a
this
pal here.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
This is going to be a pretty good pal, yeah, if he can get this timed right.
Yeah. Wait for Tekken to get out.
Yeah, this is a very good spot. It's a very good spot. And another blue gets thrown.
Oh,
it does get Taka right into the wall.
Yeah, I think Tekken hit a Nana before that POW happened, so he got partially target POW'd and then blued, followed up by a blue, but he's still in second. 1-3, though, for L. No,
see who has shock, because this is probably going to, make or break this entire thing. And there is, I believe that was in S1.
Yeah, S1. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, S1 shock.
Money's is in a bit of a tricky spot here. He's going to stay in that really tight line, as nobody really takes that tight of a line coming out of the cannon. So
let's see if Mason can make a play on Artie right here.
He was trying to drop a star, but good work for Money.
Another pow. That's another clean one. And Artie gets a nice hop dodge to it, too.
Ooh, nice little line adjustment there for Mason not to hit that Nana. And it is going to make him be in position to break that first.
Ooh. Let's see if
Ooh, nice backspin from Artie. Puts off Mason, but Mason gets the TC. Oh.
Yeah, matches the TC.
Had he not gotten that, I mean, Mason would have been in the dust, essentially.
Jeez, oh, that's so unfortunate, though, because both of them could have taken cut. I think they could have gotten 2, 3, 4 from that, because I saw Taka fly in. But yeah, what a sequence. That's just so unfortunate for Zesty.
I want to see who passed that TC off in the end. I'm looking back.
That was Zesty who got hit, and Mason took it from him.
Yeah. And that backspin from Artie just kind of put Mason off there. And Mason would have taken a bit of time to readjust. He had to come to a full stop and then, adjust his line. But even then, he probably would have hit the wall upon readjusting there. So that TC was kind of a blessing in disguise. Zesty does get 8th, but Mason is able to keep his 3rd. But yeah, with that race, Timeless are able to break away just a little bit further. Nothing too spectacular because we did see Lightspeed, of course, in race 12 coming out of nowhere, making something out of nothing in that DKS race. Anything can happen in this game. But MC3 is going to be coming out here and take the reign for me, as I will get the scores in just a second. Okay, so it was 1-4-5-7-9 there for Lightspeed.
Okay. Well, it just did not win up.
Okay, so 33 to 27. So take the reign for me right now. Or 33-28.
Okay. All right. Shroom to start off. And Taka pressuring Artie right away, has to get up in the front. And Mason with the Shroom. Taka tries to go for the quick back on him, but he misses. And Mason's going to have to tank this red. Artie Shroom's up in the first. But Taka's right on his tail, while Mason also drives behind. Zayden comes up, Shrooming. And now S1 has 1-3.
Yeah, this is a good position for S1 to start off with here, especially with Mank winning out in the bagging battle. I want to switch over to Artie because I had his score first. But anyway, it's going to be... I would assume Zesty may be holding on to a Shroom. Yes, he's able to Shroom up to second. Zesty is able to Shroom up all the way to first here. I'm interested to see how Artie's going to maybe approach this, maybe go for a snipe potentially.
And there it is. Oh, just a little too far.
Nice back there from Mason on the other POV. He was able to get a back spam onto Zane, but Zane does have a Shroom to propel himself back up into the top spots. Mason gets bumped.
He's gonna try going all the way with this.
Yeah, Mason gets bumped by the bagger there, and the shot comes in. Ethan's gonna be coming up. A back bomb on Artie as Brody came up as well. So kind of an even
blue
shot.
As well as an explosion.
Kind of an even shock
Look,
there.
that's a bottom 3 for S1.
Oof. What? Yeah, Mason. In the end, Mason does get bumped by Monies. So he wasn't able to make that a really strong race. Okay, he does place 5th anyway, so it didn't matter too much in the end. But with that, I mean, Lightspeed Ultraviolet is right back in this mix. One race to go, and it's going to be a single point deficit. Single digit deficit for Lightspeed Ultraviolet. I cannot speak right now. This game has me absolutely flustered, to say the very least.
Right, Coco.
Okay, so 5-point lead here for Timeless.
Oof.
437 to 432. My goodness.
For sure, I think. What do they need here? Because I think does a top 2-5 or top 2-4 I think wins it.
Top 2-4 definitely wins it. Top 2-5 I think will also win it. Right away, Artie Kuno
he gets nailed right at the start.
And that was Mason. Yeah. Oh, Artie gets backed and cut as well.
Backs 2 and gets tech in the entrance. Something that you must do.
I'm really interested to see how Mason's going to break this up. Maybe go for a snipe. That's not a good spot, though, because if you don't get it there, it's going to bank off. I mean,
he has to avoid some of these backs as well.
Could get a side green, but it was a bit speculative from Mason. But he really wants to get top 2 out, so I'm not surprised he goes for it there.
It's looking good for S1, which have top 2-4 right now. And this also puts pressure on the bagger because you would want the other bagger to have to go for shock immediately. And if they get billed, then your bagger has a shot at getting it.
S1 are really starting to break here. And now with Artie Kuno with this golden. And, Brody takes the cut. He's going to be able to overtake third. And Mason, he's grinding! He's grinding, guys! He kind of failed the rail. He's grinding, Tony Hawk style.
Oh man, that's the best one could have done instead of having to get taken all the way down by the stairs. Yeah, see a TC for Taka, so that's gonna boost the lead just a little bit for S1's top 2.
And Monies has the shot. Monies has the shot.
There's the blue thrown though by Brody. It's gonna slow down.
Good start for L. Blue coming in. Maybe a shot coming into the boxes. Maybe dodging a couple of L here.
I'm not so sure who has it, but like it looks to me that Mank probably has it, concerning the situation right now.
Artie Kuno did get random green.
And another blue gets thrown.
Blue.
And there's a shock. It was from Monies. As dodgy Zesty.
Who got blued there? Whoever it was got... Okay, Zane got
That was
blued.
Zane that got blued,
Yeah,
and
Zane
Zesty
got blued.
dodged, so
Shock
he's in
got-
first now.
Shock partially canceled it. Still going to be a 2-3 for S1. Zesty's really going to have to make a play here. He is far away, so I don't think he's really going to be able to get a back spam, assuming that... yeah, if it's greens, he's not really going to be able to get a back here. He does slow down.
Wait, he slowed down.
Star drop.
Oh, he got hit.
Oh! Ethan gets hit before the line, too.
Oh, I'm missing a hit at the end.
I
think
don't...
I'm bottom 2 for L.
I don't think Zesty was able to get a star in the
Oh
end
my
there. It was a
God.
star drop in the end. And
Yeah, what an attempt that was.
yeah, I like that from Zesty and company. Trying to really secure that hefty race, considering that L were bottom 2, even with that shock, and in the end, just didn't come off.
Man, that's so unfortunate he got rented at the end, too.
Yeah. Good evasion
He
there.
didn't make a play.
Good evasion there from Zane. I think Tekken was also
Wow.
in third, but he had to slow down a little bit from that star, so he lost a spot. But in the end, it's going to be Timeless taking this one home, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute grind.
Bro, it's plus... in the chat, it's +2. They won by 2.
Oh my god. They won by 2 with...
Yeah,
Oh
they won by
my
2.
god. That is as close as you can get. I mean, these overtime matches that we've casted so far in MKPS Season 1, this is the first one of MKPS Season 2 that we've casted, but usually a team just runs away with it in overtime, but this was close through and through, and Timeless have pulled it out in the end, exercising their demons in MKPS Season 1 as they have constantly found the worst end of, you know, chokes and just not being able to play in the clutch. But Timeless, even though they did suffer that race in DKS where Lightspeed completely came out of the dead, they were able to hold strong. It is a weekend tournament after all, so it's not going to be too big of a win, but it is going to guarantee them quite the bit of CP. And wow, what a match this was.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming along, Fusion. I mean, we were trying to find a caster, like, oh my god, because initially Zexus was able to, but then he had plans, and then Saturn said he could, but then he went AFK, and we're like, oh no. But yeah, I'm glad we got this cast off in the end. Thank you guys so much for coming out. The support was great. I think we capped off at around 180, 190, so the support is absolutely appreciated. And on behalf of the boards, I'm Jaggy.
I'm Fusion.
We will see you guys on the flip side.